into a vehicle had already been used to block the road. And my driver said, God bless my driver, I didn't mention his name. Chinedu. He went through all the...
My people, our country is no longer safe. You know, say where people they talk, it go be like say somebody they carry talk. Your country called Nigeria is not safe anymore. You get this video where I want make una watch, make una take una mouth hear wetin dey happen. Things they happen for this life. You cannot travel from one state to another. You no fit. Once it's 6 p.m., you need to enter house. If day never break 7, you cannot come out. What kind of a country is that? How long our people will keep on crying for this? Now so our people want to stay. Now so we want to leave. Now waiting they happen. I no wan waste time for this video. I want make una take una hear wetin dey happen, and follow me, share am, put on your notification bell for more updates. Things it dey happen. In fact, na only God na go deliver Nigeria. I stop here. Share this video, guys. Let's come back to the comment section and discuss more about this matter.
Into a vehicle had already been used to block the road. And my driver said, God bless my driver, I didn't mention his name. Chinedu. He went through all the LT and said some of us were killed or injured, even though none of us have been injured. I had them saying that. Ladies and gentlemen, the good news that we have been delivered safe and unhurt and unharmed. The bad news that I was not profiled, we were never profiled or targeted. Meaning that they merely operated randomly. It is bad news because it could have been any person, any other person. Bad news because it was when we were in the car with eyes closed that they started preliminary questions. What is your name? I said, Chief Michael Zekome, SAM. They set my pocket, took out the complimentary cards and other possession. I heard the card, I said, what is your full name? I said, my full name is Chief Michael Zekome, SAM. Constitutional lawyer, human rights activist, Ekpa Bigibiadola. They said yes. They said yes, you're a man of truth. That's what is written on your card. I didn't even know they were holding my card. He said, so you're a lawyer? I said, yes, sir. How long have you practiced? I said, 32 years. I said, well, even if you tell us lies, by tomorrow, we know who you are. Do you know what? We always know who you are when we capture, when we kidnap people through the press. So even if you lie, we are going to know who you are tomorrow. That is how we were driven for about 4.5 hours. Through rough roads, through highways, you could feel it on the body that you are on the highway. You could feel it on the body that you are on a rocky path. You could feel it on the body that you are in a swamp. You could feel it on the body that you are inside the forest, that you are on a footpath that is not tarred. About 4.5 hours. Before they dumped us in a small, uncompleted building, far away from civilization. Far away. And it was 24 hours guard, security guard. Fellow Nigerians. We are not talking of toy carrying kidnappers. They told me that they have cell units across Nigeria. They reminded me, didn't you see that Ikubola's father was captured in Jos and taken to Kanu? Didn't you hear of the white men who were killed in Brunikebi and Bauchi and Kanu? Didn't you hear of the deputy governor of Anambra State that was executed? They started mentioning them. That
for this Nigeria,
they are everywhere. So I asked them,
for Nigeria,
how did you know me then? Why did you come for me? They said, we didn't know you. We just operated. And you happen to have run into us. And that when they started reading of me, they said, we believe that God allowed us to catch you for a purpose. To draw attention to the world, to draw national and international attention to this issue of kidnapping. They were even advising me that I should not blame God, I should glorify God. That the things they have been reading of me, about me, shows that attention is being drawn to this issue of kidnapping. Then, of course, all of them are always hooded and masked, so you cannot know or recognize anybody. Because even though they are hooded and masked, even when they are talking to you, whether in the afternoon or in the night, you must still close your eyes. If you don't close your eyes, you'll be in trouble. The death sentence was always hanging on us 24 hours a day. The experience was one of horrendous tragedy. It was horrific. to put it mildly. We were psychologically tortured. We were mentally, excruciatingly tortured. We suffered from psychical trauma. It was spiritually unnerving. It was physically debilitating. It was the nearest thing to death on earth. Fellow countrymen, if hell is worse than that, let us all pray that we will never go to hell. So the bad news is that any Nigerian, in any place, on any way, whether highway, footpath, could be a victim. The bad news is that in our unit where we were captured and detained, there were also others. There was a woman with her 2 small sons and a little girl, daughter, and a driver. There were 2 other women and their driver. We were about 13 in all. So it showed that when they strike, they do not really care who you are. But the important thing is that they have struck and they know that you must have people out there that they can deal with. That is the danger. That is why I'm going to make some suggestions here to the federal government of Nigeria. That we have in our hands a national calamity. We have in our hands a clear and present danger. We have in our hand a situation of monumental and gargantuan proportion. A situation that calls for urgent national rethinking. A situation that calls for presidential intervention. Not today, not tomorrow, not next week, as soon as yesterday, as urgent as yesterday. Let no one deceive themselves that we are dealing with a little phenomenon. Let no one fool himself or herself that we are dealing with toy gun carrying kidnappers. They told us that they cannot be caught with by any security outfit because their phones cannot be tracked. Their phones cannot be tracked. We asked them, why can't your phones be tracked? They said because, they said, can you see that we don't allow you to talk every day? Can you tell people to shut up? They said, can you see that we only allow you to talk once in 3 days? I said, yes, sir. They said that is because before they grant us any opportunity to talk, they have to make special preparation. That where we are, for example, or where we were, that before they speak to me, the person who is going to speak to me, we have to travel across about 4 or 5 states outside where we were detained. And then the person will be on a highway and make the call. When he makes the call to their person, then they will now connect the person that represents me that they are talking with. They told me on one occasion that they are aware that some security agents went to Port Harcourt or where they decided to arrest innocent people. That they use all those ones as decoy. That their calls do not originate from where their victims are detained. That they can't be so stupid. Ladies and gentlemen, we are dealing with very well-read people, graduates, that speak impeccable English. Very well-read graduates that talk philosophy. That when they are hooded, they discuss national issues with you. Problems of the country. Why they said they are in the forest, in the jungles. Why they are fighting against